Hello students, welcome to all of you in the Science and Technology part first of 9th standard. I am Didi Patil from Siddheshwar Girls High School, Solapur. Our 9th standard science book includes total 18 chapters. Those 18 chapters are divided into three main groups: physics, chemistry and biology, together with some additional chapters are included on environmental science, ICT, biotechnology, and astronomy. Hello, students. In the online session, today we are going to discuss about the chapter number 1, laws of motion. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about the following points. First one, motion. Second one, distance and displacement. Third one, acceleration and their types. And finally, we are going to discuss about the Newton's laws of motion and related equations. First point, motion of an object. We see the motion of several objects every day in our life, in our surrounding. Before discussing the motion of an object, we are going to discuss about the can you tell type of questions. Here, two questions are asked. First one, in which of the following examples can you sense motion? First one, the flight of a bird. Second one, a stationary train. Third one, leaves flying through air. And finally, fourth one, that is a stone lying on a hill. The answer of this question is, here we sense the motion in the example number 1 and 3 because of example number 2 and 4 are not in a motion. Question number 2. How will you explain presence and absence of motion? The answer of this question is, a body is said to be in motion if it changes its position with respect to its surroundings. According to these examples, we can see the motion of several objects in our day-to-day life. Out of those motions, sometimes we cannot see the motion of an object directly, as in the case of a breeze. Can you list other examples of motion beside those given here? The answer of this question is, the motion of the blood flows in our body. Second one, the motion of the air present in our surrounding. In addition to this, for getting detailed information about the motion, we can discuss on think about it on page number 1. Here two questions are asked. Question number 1, you are traveling in a bus. Is the person sitting next to you in motion? The answer of this question is, the person sitting next to me is not in motion with respect to me, but that person is in the motion with respect to a person on the road. Question number 2, what do you think take into consideration to decide if an object is moving or not? To decide whether an object is in the motion or not, we consider whether it changes its position with respect to its surroundings or not. Here, we have learnt that the motion is a relative concept. If the position of an object is changing with respect to its surroundings, then it is said to be in motion. Otherwise, it is said to be at rest. Next concept is the distance and displacement. According to the figure, here you do one of the activity in the let's try this. First one, measure the distance between points A and B in a different ways as shown in the figure 1.1a. Here you do it. Second one, now measure the distance along the dotted line. Which distance is correct according to you and why? If you do the activity, then we conclude that the distance measured along the curved path, including the loop from A and B, is the correct distance. According to the same figure, we can discuss on the think about it. Here also two questions are asked. First one, A. Sheetal first went to her friend Sangeeta's home on her way to school. See figure 1.1b. B. Prashant went straight from home to school. Both are walking with the same speed. Then who will take less time to reach the school and why? The answer of this question is Prashant will take less time to reach the school because the distance traveled by Sheetal is equal to 500 meter plus 1200 meter, total equal to 1700 meter, and the distance traveled by Prashant is equal to 1300 meters only. In the above example, is there a difference between the actual distance and the distance traveled? What is the answer of this question is as their difference, that is equal to 1700 meter minus 1300 meter is equal to 400 meter. Prashant and Sheetal walk with the same speed and the distance traveled by Prashant is less than that of the distance traveled by the Sheetal. Hence, Prashant will take less time to reach the school. Now everyone listen carefully the definition of distance and displacement. Distance is the actual path traveled by an object in motion while going from one point to another, whereas the displacement is the minimum distance between the starting and finishing points. This concept can be explained with the help of two questions are asked in Use Your Brain Power on page number 2. Question number 1. Every morning, Swarali walks around the edge of a circular field having a radius of 100 meter as shown in the figure 1.2a. If she starts from a point A and takes one round, how much distance has she walked and what is her displacement? Question number 2. If a car starting from a point P goes to the point Q, see the figure 1.2b, and then returns to the point P, how much distance has it traveled and what is its displacement? The answer of these two questions are number 1. The distance covered by Swarali in one round, that is equal to circumference of the circle, that is equal to 2 pi r. Therefore equal to 2 into 22 upon 7 into 100 meter is equal to 4400 upon 7 meter, equal to about 628.6 meter. But her displacement equal to 0 meter. The answer of second question is the distance traveled by the car, that is equal to PQ plus QP, equal to 360 meter plus 360 meter equal to 720 meter. But its a displacement equal to 0 meter. Means here we conclude that the distance and displacement both are completely different. Even if the displacement of an object is 0, then the actual distance traveled by it may not be 0. Here, the distance is a scalar quantity and the displacement is a vector quantity. According to this, here asked one of the question, that is the difference between the distance and displacement. Everyone observe the given answer and note it in your notebook. Next concept is speed and velocity. Before discussing this concept, we can discuss on can you recall type of question on page number 2. Question number 1. What are the vectors and scalars? In the previous Up to 8th standard we are discuss about the vectors and scalars. The physical quantity which can be completely expressed with the help of magnitude and direction are called as vectors, and the physical quantity which can be expressed by only magnitude alone are called as scalars. Question number 2. Which of the quantities distance, speed, velocity, time and displacement are scalars and which are the vectors? In these examples or in these quantities, the distance, speed and time are the scalars, while the velocity and displacement are the vectors. Speed. The distance traveled by an object in unit time is called its speed. Speed is related to the distance. Speed is a scalar quantity. Therefore, speed is equal to total distance traveled upon time required. Velocity. The distance traveled by an object in unit time in a specific direction is called its velocity. Velocity is related to the displacement. Velocity is a vector quantity. Therefore, velocity is equal to displacement upon time. According to this, here ask the one type of question, that is difference between speed and velocity. So everyone write the difference in your notebook. Every student read the points given in always remember on page number 2 and note it in your notebook. Those points are useful for writing the difference between speed and velocity. Next concept is effect of speed and direction on velocity. In the previous we are discussed on speed is the distance traveled by an object in unit time, but the velocity is the distance traveled by an object in unit time in a specific direction. This can be explained with the help of one of the example given on page number 3. Everyone observe the figure carefully. Sachin is traveling on a motorbike. Explain what will happen in the following events during Sachin's ride. Question number 1. What will be the effect on the velocity of the motorcycle if its speed increases or decreases, but its direction remains unchanged? The answer of this question is the velocity changes regularly. Question number 2. In case of a turning on the road, will the velocity and speed be same? The answer of this question is the velocity and speed does not same, means it changes continuously. If Sachin changes the direction of the motorcycle, keeping its speed constant, what will be the effect on the velocity? The answer of this question is the velocity is also changes. Question number 3. If on turning, Sachin changes the direction as well as the speed of the motorcycle, what will be the effect on its velocity? The answer of this question is the velocity is changes. According to these 3 examples, it is clear from that the velocity depends on speed as well as direction, and that velocity changes by, first point, changing the speed while keeping the direction same, changing the direction while keeping the speed same, and finally third one, changing the speed as well as the direction. Important information is given in always remember on page number 3. The first scientist to measure speed as the distance upon time was Galileo. The speed of sound in dry air is 343.2 meter per second, while the speed of light is about 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. The speed of revolution of the earth around the sun is about 29,770 meter per second. Every students compulsory write down the answers of think about it, can you recall, use your brain power, are you remember, type of questions in your notebook, and finally solve this homework in your notebook. Thank you.